live from the Willie Nelson and Friends Museum Showcase in Nashville, Tennessee. It's Music is Funny. Musicians talking to comedians about music and comedy. With your hosts, Raelyn Nelson and Jonathan Bright.
Smoking, I'm so high, I keep toking, I'm drunk, but I'm still drinking too.
Welcome back to Music is Funny. I'm Raelyn Nelson.
And I'm Jonathan Bright from the Raelyn Nelson Band, back with another ridiculous and unnecessary intro.
This one's all about the Tortured Poets Department. Taylor, 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 featuring the amazing Pepper Goins.
Had to bring our good buddy in. And
Annie Goins.
A special surprise from his wife. We go through all things Taylor, a little bit of NASCAR.
More Taylor.
I don't know. We've been drinking and we're doing this intro after we've already filmed the video. So I don't even remember what we talked about. And it's long. So I think we're going to keep it all in.
A Pepper and Annie Goins. Pepper, thank you so much for joining us today.
No problem.
We're an official podcast, and we are honored to have you. So you have already done our podcast before. So if you want to know the first music that Pepper listened to and loved as a kid, you'll have to go back and listen to that podcast, you know, because
it's not a very interesting story. So
none of them really are.
Yeah. That's kind of the whole problem with the show, you know?
Well, the numbers are where they are.
That's why we're a successful podcast. Why is it so hard to say successful and it just sounds like successful? Anyway. So I've asked you to be here for a specific reason. Would you in fact call yourself a Swiftie?
100%, yeah.
And is that before or after your wife, Annie? Like, if she was not a Swiftie, would you still be a Swiftie?
Absolutely not. It is purely to get pussy.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good
and
move.
I feel like that is probably
in the podcast now. I think that's the main message.
Catch up. I think clip it right down.
When I went to the Taylor Swift show in Atlanta, number one, it is one of the most incredible things I've ever attended because every single person there is participating. So every single person has some kind of Taylor Swift shirt, Taylor Swift something. There's people who take it to like the nines and they have crazy outfits on. But even like the 50-year-old dads that got dragged there by their 16-year-old daughter, they have shirts on. Like everybody's participating, everybody's singing along. But like from what I gathered, the male population that was at that show, it was dads, boyfriends who didn't want to be there, and gay men. And that was pretty much the entire population of men that was at the Taylor Swift show.
So did you pick up on any of the satanic ritual that was going on that I've been hearing so much about?
Yeah, what is this about? You saw it firsthand.
Yeah, I did feel like I was closer to the dark side walking out, but she hides it very well. It's not like an overt Satanism. It's more discreet, and I believe that probably more sinister. That's a more sinister way to do it. Hide it rather than just have it being all out there.
It's more of a new age Satanism.
Exactly.
Like Satanism in a strip mall, like the new age churches.
And what would you say to a religious lady who was asking you about it? Like, I've heard that she's into Satan.
I would tell her that she needs to go check on that cornbread because it smells like it's burning and mind her own fucking business.
Okay.
I'll let my mom know.
Well, okay. I would say she's very nice and she has good intentions, but
have you heard the one where she's a clone of Anton LaVey's daughter?
That's one of my favorite conspiracy theories is that people are clones of people. Like, I think there's a big one with like Avril Lavigne. They say that she died in like 2001 and the person that is her now is a clone. Like, there's so many people like that where conspiracy theorists, you know, that's the whole conspiracy. Is that one of the fucking Beatles, the same thing with that.
Oh yeah. Paul. Also, I don't know if if technically a clone or just a body double. Apparently, there's chatter about Dave Chappelle being either a clone or a body double.
heard
And this is
that.
coming from Jim Brewer.
I heard
Talking
that.
to Roseanne, yes. He said when he went off to Africa and he came back, it's like, it's not the same guy.
What do you mean?
Like it, Jim Brewer,
Not that. What do you mean? Not the same guy?
not like he's changed, but it's not the same guy. Maybe it's a clone. Maybe it's a body double.
Oh, we have to ask Daisy about this.
He is bigger. I mean,
Sure.
he looks kind of different.
Since when did he go to Africa?
Well, if you look at
When did
pictures
it
of
happen?
years ago.
Stop it. Wait.
No,
Wait,
the second
Out of this.
the second he quit the Chappelle show, he went straight to Africa.
Yeah, they called him crazy, and he left because he got out of the Hollywood system. He was visited, according to Jim Brewer. He wouldn't dish on who visited him, but he said he pulled him aside, he's like, you wouldn't believe, blah, blah, blah. And then he took off, and then he came back, and Jim Brewer was like, I don't think this is the same guy.
Like it's a clone or it's a different person.
Well, knowing Jim, it could either be a clone or a body double, but something sinister, obviously. But there's clones are big now. Biden, there's supposedly 3
What
or
if
4
he
Bidens.
just had some work done?
We
They need
could.
to work on the Biden clone, dude. That guy
Yeah.
is fucked up.
They got 3 or 4 body doubles, and they keep keeling over. I think they have to get
Every time they make a new one, it gets worse. It's like when you copy a VHS tape.
It's so true. But I don't know. I mean, clones, maybe.
Who did you say that she's the son of or daughter of?
No, a clone of
Thank you.
Anton LaVey, who was a world famous Satanist back in, I guess, the 60s.
Oh,
like,
I think it was before that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Oh, yeah, it was definitely before that. But like the big 60s musician guys, like Zeppelin and all those, they started following
yeah.
his teachings and stuff
Oh,
like that.
weird. Okay.
So there's a picture of his daughter. I think it's like from the fucking Donahue show or something in the early 80s. Resembles Taylor Swift. I wouldn't say it's a dead ringer, but you gonna look it up?
I'm definitely looking at it. Maybe you
Interesting.
can put a little photo in the
Yeah, I'll find one if you can find it.
Anton. How do you spell LaVey?
LAV.
Ooh, good luck with that.
I think it's EY maybe.
Okay. Daughter.
Daughter Taylor Swift.
Wait, why am I putting Taylor in there?
Because an article will come up probably comparing the two.
But if I put daughter, won't just an image pop up?
Probably so.
Okay, let's do
Maybe.
that because I want to see if it looks like her at all. No,
Is she
nothing like
hot?
her at all.
Let me see. Did you get the right one?
Xena and Carla. Which one?
Xena, I think.
Yeah, nothing like her. She's hot, but nothing like her. Oh, she kind of looks like her. Here.
Mm,
Okay, yeah, she kind of looks like
yeah.
her here a little. I don't know. Wrong nose.
So to sum up, Dave Chappelle's a clone. Taylor Swift is a
Can you
clone.
see this? How do I do this?
I'll find.
Yeah, I'll
stick
figure it
up.
out later.
I don't know how to do it. Yeah, I mean, she has blonde hair.
Yeah. So she
Yeah, there's
was
a lot of people who just have way too much time to think about this shit.
She's also 60.
well,
Everybody's gonna be 60 eventually.
No,
unless
I
they
just
die.
mean like, how could she be Taylor? Oh, a clone of her?
a
No.
clone.
Oh, got it.
but can you have a
Kinda.
clone? I guess you can clone somebody and be a different age. I don't know how the cloning
Yeah, how do you
process
do
works.
that?
Well,
Like
alien
clone
technology.
her? Yeah.
Maybe she's just, I mean,
Maybe she's Dave Chappelle.
they just have
Well-
similar faces because humans only have certain types of faces.
If you pay attention, you'll understand that AI is actually Satan embodied in technology. And I mean, Satan can obviously do whatever he wants. It's magic.
So are you seriously telling me that we had Satan do our last music video? Direct it?
You tell me.
Yeah. Well, things have been going kind of bad since then.
Yeah.
So
Something to look into.
yeah, something to think about.
I don't know anything.
I've decided to write more uplifting songs, and I think that's going to help our situation.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea. We got to start somewhere. I learned. So there was a time when I don't know, I wasn't really depressed, but I was just like, kind of like, ugh. And I was really mean to people on the internet, and I was just an asshole. And one day I was like, you know what? You know who controls my mood? Me. So I'm just going to, even if it's fucking fake, I'm just going to be nice to everybody. I'm going to think nice things. I'm going to like literally stop and smell the flowers and shit. And it completely turned my life around. You're just, even if it's fake, like you're in such a much better mood.
You can almost like fake your brain,
Now he's a Swiftie.
spaz the brain out. It
So you
is
do
hard
it.
to get into the conspiracy Swiftie theories, which is why we're here today. Really.
Well, I'm a fan of conspiracy theories of all, and I don't know why they get such
No
bad rap.
ways.
Like they try to, like when I was a kid, I'm 100 years old, so we didn't have the internet, but you'd go through the grocery store and the National Enquirer and all those fucking magazines on the wall and like alien babies, and then you get Art Bell on AM radio talking about aliens and all this stuff. It was a blast. I don't know where it got such a bad name, and people started like censoring conspiracy theories. That shit was it's a blast.
I think around the time Alex Jones got taken down, I think that's around the time when it started getting a bad rap, because there was that one dude who like showed up in the pizza place with the AR-15.
Right.
He's like, well, you're taking that a little bit too far, brother.
Yeah, that's true. That's not. You can't really pin that on Alex Jones, can you? I mean, maybe.
Kinda. You want to look at somebody that absolutely 100% the CIA silenced? Alex Jones. Where the fuck is that guy now?
Most definitely. Once they got him for that Sandy Hook stuff, they put him aside, and
But he he's kind of, hasn't he predicted things that have happened?
Oh, he's
yeah,
way more than he's wrong.
Right?
He's had a few huge misses, but if you go back and you hear all this crazy shit, and then you go back and like if you listen to him talk, they start pulling up articles, and when he's like, the runoff is turning the frogs gay, and then you pull up articles and like, holy shit, they're gay hermaphrodite frogs or something that's literally happening. So there's a lot of shit he says that sounds batshit, and then you go back and look at him like,
fuck.
he kind of predicted
9/11, 911.
Yeah.
No, he didn't kind of. He said they will fly planes into the Twin Towers and they will blame a man named Osama bin Laden.
Yeah.
Like he fucking nailed it as much as you could nail it.
Yeah.
And then did he, am I making this up, or did he predict COVID? A pandemic. Not COVID, but a pandemic.
Oh, yeah. He was reporting on all those, I forget the name of the meetings they were having where they were doing simulations of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm just saying he might be channeling something sometimes.
I don't think he's channeling anybody. I think he's got some sources, and he spends all of his time
Oh, yeah, you might be
researching
right.
shit.
Tucker Carlson thinks he's a prophet.
Yeah.
That's true.
See?
You guys are going to lose so many listeners.
I kind of identify as a black conservative now, no Pepper. It's my thing.
Yeah, I'm a black Republican. Dude, there's a black Republican that lives across from our shop. He's so fucking cool, dude. He just built a mailbox, and it's like 3 feet wide. It's like a cube that's 3 feet by 3 feet, and it's like 5 feet tall. And it is a mailbox. It's got a standard mailbox opening thingy, but then there's also a place for packages to be delivered. Nice. It is so sick. I'll send you a video of it. But dude, his yard he spends 8 hours a day in his yard, and it's maybe an acre. So it is just spot on. His grass looks like it's cut with razor blades. Like, it's incredible.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the.
I zoned out. What are we talking about?
We're talking about black conservatism.
Oh, okay.
There's some reactors online that I'm a fan of watching, whether I agree with them or not. They're hilarious.
Okay, I'm just curious. What do you think the Torture Poets Department is about, JB? Taylor Swift's new album that came out.
I really have no idea. When it came out, I mean, the whole Taylor Swift phenomenon is fascinating to me. I can't say that I'm a fan. I'm not the target audience, but it is fascinating how big this kind of basic white woman became and is right now. And there's been, it's like she gets a thing for like, oh, you don't want to date Taylor Swift because she's going to write a song about you. But that shit's been going on since forever. Carly Simon, You're So Vain. Alanis Morissette was big on that. You can't talk about that.
Jeff Daniels. Or not him. Who's the guy who's
the one
Daniel Coulier? Yeah, Dave Coulier.
Oh yeah, that was
cut it out. Yeah.
Yeah. So everybody's been. Yeah. Who else? There's been plenty of. I don't know. It just seems strange that she is the one that has transcended all this.
Yeah, well, she might be the best at it. Whenever you listen to some of this shit, you're like, oh my God. I like putting yourself in the shoes of the person the song is about. Is like, dude, you have to just be sitting there with your skin crawling and be like, fuck.
Yeah, she well, one of my
She has
friends,
catchy melodies.
it's like my friend back a while ago said, well, nobody writes songs for 16-year-old girls like a 16-year-old girl, which was true then, but now she's mid 30s, you know? So it's still continued on, but I mean, she's still writing songs for 16-year-old girls.
I wouldn't say they're for 16-year-old girls.
I'm asking. I'm not.
Yeah. I would say no, not anymore. Would you? I'd say they're more adult now, more mature.
Yeah.
She's mature.
I mean, she says fuck now, which is new.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
I
she
think
cusses in her
She's out.
songs now.
She's out in them streets.
Yeah. I think she has her music has matured with her. But it's still in that same vein of like an emotional 16-year-old. There's just some people that never grow out of that emotionally. And how could she? When she matured up to, 16 or 18, and then she
Became
blew up
famous.
into a giant megastar.
Right.
So your growth is kind of stunted where you blew up because you're not a person after that. Like
Do you guys think Papa Willie's is stunted at 45?
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's why he's so cool. He didn't get famous till he was 45, and that's a perfect time to get stunted.
yeah.
Right?
He already got the dick shit out of his way. Like I was an asshole for 40 years. Perfect timing.
Yeah. But you're right. There is something to that. It does seem like younger people, when they get famous young, they kind of get stuck there.
Yeah.
It's some sort of developmental.
So how do you think the move from pop music to country music, or country music to pop music, happened? Do you think she always wanted to be a pop
it's because she grew
person?
up listening to pop music and
Why did she start singing country?
I think country is the most profitable music to be in.
And didn't she want that? At first she wanted to be a country singer when she was a little girl. Like she was like, I want to be a country singer. And then she was. But then she was listening to all this pop music, and then she's like, okay, I want to make this kind of music now. She just did it.
Yeah, I wonder. Do you think she's got that much pull, or had that much pull in the label where they were like, yeah, we need to branch out here and get into
I think
some
it was
of this
just
pop
like
music
what she
stuff?
was writing.
But couldn't you take all the songs she writes
sometimes when
now
I
and
write a
sort of
song
country
and you're
it up?
like, that's really pop, or you're like, that's more rock. That's like, like she's just like whatever came out, and it was just more of that because she was listening to more pop.
Okay, I'm asking questions.
Do you want to
When you-
fight? Just kidding. Just
When
kidding.
you listen to her first album, it's not like Reba McEntire country. Like it's pretty poppy. right off the
Yeah,
bat.
all country around that era was it. There's no Reba McEntire
That's
shit
true.
going on then, so it's not a big stretch to go from country to pop.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
But now country's bigger than pop apparently, or the fastest growing. But I think
Or like dirt, truck, gravel road country.
Yeah.
that's the thing now. But you've played some Tay stuff. Did you like her when she was country?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard of one of her country songs. I know she had one called
Yeah,
Tim McGraw.
she's just a couple years younger than me. So when she was on the radio at 16. So I was kind of in that audience, right? So when Tim McGraw came out and all that,
Yeah.
and I sing and play. So I just learned her songs and would sing and play them. They're easy to sing. She doesn't do crazy, or at that time she wasn't doing crazy vocal stuff.
Does she have curly hair naturally, or does she straighten it? Because she looked like a Hendersonville chick
Ooh,
when she
this
first
is-
started.
This is a question for Peps.
Because didn't she have those kind of buck teeth and curly head when she was
She's
started?
naturally curly headed, I think. A little wavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great question. Not a yeah, I don't really know the hair details to be honest. Sorry about that.
So how
So
did
who do you think?
how did a flat-assed white woman pull Travis Kelce?
Peps and I
And
talked about this
real
before.
quick, have you seen Travis Kelce's ex?
Oh, X is. They
Yeah.
are the type, and it ain't Taylor Swift, brother.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Does
but
he
it-
have a type?
But also, if you had the chance to be with America's pop star who is super successful, why not try something a little different?
I mean,
Maybe
I
it hadn't
guess-
worked so well in the past with all those exes that are the opposite color of Taylor, which is what we're saying.
I guess that's true.
With huge asses.
But he's also
Yeah.
a multimillionaire, so it's not like he's like, I need to. He could get chicks, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, he's got the biggest sports podcast on the planet.
So he's doing all right.
But was that before Taylor? It was the number one sports podcast on the planet.
Yeah, it was big.
It was
before.
pretty big.
But it was him and his brother who were both
Kelsey
current
something.
NFL players at the time talking.
Right.
So
Talking football, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
Now it probably
They're good.
Yes, it
That,
did
that set them
grow
apart.
Once, yeah, once Taylor got on or started, once he started banging Taylor, it probably grew for a little while. But I can't imagine Swifties tuning in to listen to jocks
Oh,
talk about.
they're
football.
tuning in.
Oh, they're tuning in.
Still?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
They want every
Still?
detail. Yes.
I don't know. I don't buy that. I can't. They would get so bored. I can understand even during the football season, but
No.
now,
No, it's Taylor's boyfriend. They're not bored.
wow.
They either want
So there
to
is
fuck
some-
Taylor or be her.
So
or
there-
be her best friend.
There is
That's
some
it.
kind of satanic element to this. Then, if you can get a bunch of prepubescent teenage girls
The-
listening
the
to
weird-
Travis and Jason Kelsey,
The weirdness of fandom and celebrity, I can't explain. I've seen it firsthand with my grandpa.
I've
It's
seen it
fucking
firsthand with people stalking me. I mean, I go out of the house and I have to deal with that shit all the time. So
Paparazzi.
I understand it.
Crazy.
I'm just saying.
No, but seriously, what were we saying before we went crazy?
Oh, nothing. I was just wondering how she bags Travis. We'll see how it goes.
Do you think? Okay, here's my favorite part. Okay, so the Torture Poets Department.
That's the new record, which
The new record.
I will say, I saw
if
it
you
come
just
out.
have to guess, who do you think it's about? Just
I
from
don't-
the zeitgeist of things.
Well, Travis has got to be one of those people. And then there's that guy that made Chinese accents on the podcast. That got
Good
in
job,
trouble.
Maddie Healy,
Maddie.
Yeah, and what's his band called?
1975.
Yeah, because I heard the band name. I was like, well, this is going to be some killer old school rock. And I listened to it, I'm like,
Nope.
not even close.
So Maddie Healy is the tortured poet.
So this whole record's about him?
We're according to Swifties. Do you agree, Pepper? I mean, like you and I both done research separately.
So it's about him and that British dude too.
Joe.
Like they both, yeah, him and Joe both have songs, and you can kind of,
Obviously, So Long London. Yeah.
yeah, you can kind of tell them apart. And boy, there's some brutal, like really cutting to the bone lyrics in that shit. But yeah, I think it's, I think you're right. I think it's, he's kind of the tortured poet. But I also think she loves poetry, and she kind of wanted to do some gay shit like that.
There's also this whole conspiracy theory that it's about is it Sylvia Plath?
She's a
poet?
chick.
Okay, so Sylvia Plath is the lady who went crazy on the airplane with the giant tits.
Sylvia Plath.
Plath.
Am I right about that?
I don't know. You could be.
I'm like, yeah,
The
75%
theory
sure I'd
that
say
the whole
that.
thing is about her and not anything to do with Matt Healy. But
Why is it? We'll get into like you've played some Taylor Swift songs in the band van. There's some bangers in there, some sparse shit, some good beats. But when this thing came out, I just started scrolling down and listening to the first 30 seconds. To me, everything sounded very slow,
Yeah.
very boring, and
you have
it
to be
seemed
in
like
the know.
AI could have done.
This one was for people who are in the know, don't you think? It's not for.
Yeah.
I don't
No,
think it's going for like radio hits.
Would you, if you found out that AI had created this whole album, would you be shocked and go, there's no fucking way that AI could do this record?
Pepper?
I'm not saying it did. I'm just saying if you found that out later, would you go, no chance?
If we find out that's the case, then we need to pull the plug on that shit right now, and we need to use all of our nuclear bombs to hit the data saving areas and just kill this whole fucking thing, because it's gotten out of hand.
This is, we're getting off topic here, but that's my whole thing about AI. Everybody's freaking out about AI. I'm bringing this up all the time.
Mm-hmm.
If it starts to get out of hand,
Just pour water
some
on it.
fucking water on the computer. I mean,
Yeah.
what are we talking about here? It's not that
100%.
difficult.
Yeah.
Blow up a couple of data centers and we're done with that shit. Anyway, back to Tay Tay.
Okay.
So just as an aside, it seemed, now again, I only heard like
I don't
30
think it was AI, but it was 31 songs, and there's a whole conspiracy that there might be a whole third part of it coming out May 3rd. Have you heard this?
Yeah, that's insane. Like if either way,
How do you do that without AI?
She's one of the most prolific songwriters of all time. Just with that one album, it's so many fucking words, dude. And it's not like musically, it is not my favorite for sure.
Same.
It is like you said, it's kind of slow and it's much more about the lyrics than it is the music. And I think that's kind of the whole idea with the poetry shit is the music is just kind of there to be a pedestal for the words. It's very wordy.
There's like 3 you could move to, and like, yeah, it's my jam,
Yeah.
And the other ones are you're just listening to for clues and which
Now,
why?
does
Why
she
are we so
have-
obsessed with these clues? I
Does-
don't know.
Does she have records that are over the top, positive, and happy? Or
This
they-
one isn't.
No, I'm just asking in general.
I feel like
a
Lover
whole
was.
theme of-
Lover.
Lover was.
What was the
Lover
big,
for sure.
Except Lover had I forgot that you existed. And that was about Calvin Harris, her ex-boyfriend, who I thought was Kanye, but during all this research, it was actually about Calvin Harris.
What was
Well,
the,
I think she runs off of spite a good bit, which I appreciate that because I feel the same way. So, being spiteful is a form of joy.
I guess that's true. That's probably why. I mean, I like a good fuck you song.
Yeah.
So
I have a hot take.
I appreciate that aspect of it.
I have a hot take. I think Taylor is kind of a mean girl. And I think we're all mean girls, and that's why we like it.
I can see that. Like, I think
Raelyn has got
I think I think anybody in her like inner circle, I think she's like awesome too. She's probably the best boss ever. But I could see like business partners or people outside of her circle or people that she doesn't like. I could see her being absolutely fucking brutal to those people.
totally. She doesn't strike me as the kind of. I don't think she was picked on as a kid. Isn't she from like Connecticut or something?
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Pennsylvania.
And then moved here when she was.
Yeah. So I mean, she's probably upper middle class at the very least. Probably more than that. Didn't her dad bought into Big Machine or something for like
I
$300
heard
grand?
that the Swift trucking
That's not true.
company is.
That's not true.
It was like
That's not true.
That's
the
not true.
Swift trucking.
But her dad did. I mean, he kind of bought her way in, which
They have
whatever.
to kind of be related to that, though.
Well, I mean, if you go back far enough, we're all
That's what I'm saying. And we're only a country that's like 45, 6 years old. Like, what are you talking
Yeah.
about?
Like
But so
you can't get into NASCAR unless you know somebody that knows somebody. Like I feel like the country industry is kind of the same way.
Yeah, she used to get shit on for that. It's like, well, her dad she got signed to Big Machine because her dad invested $300 grand in it. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Everybody gets their leg in somehow. She still had to make records and sell. Now, I wonder, what's your theory on what happened at the break? Why would Big Machine let her go?
Okay, so there's a theory about that. Have you heard the Carly Kloss theory on this? Why they
No.
aren't friends anymore?
No.
Supposedly
Clue me
they aren't
in.
friends anymore because
Who's Kylie Kloss?
Carly Kloss, she's the super hot supermodel chick that Taylor was friends with that they all thought they were gay. Remember #Gaylor?
Oh, yeah, that's one of my funniest.
When I showed you guys that.
Gaylor. That's hilarious. Go ahead.
So Carly Kloss supposedly told Scott Borchetta to buy all of Taylor's masters, or that no. Taylor told Carly that she was planning on getting back her masters. Carly told Scott that Taylor was doing that. And now that I'm telling you guys, it sounds really batshit, but here we go. Carly also loaned the money to Scott Borchetta to get these masters into a financial or a legal situation where Taylor wouldn't be able to get them, where she would have to purchase or do them again to have her own.
That doesn't make any sense,
It
though.
doesn't.
Well,
It doesn't.
Because the label owns the masters. They don't have to sell them. That's part of the contract she signed.
So maybe Carly went behind her back and told Scott that she was going to re-record them or something. I'm not sure. So along those lines, because there's a song on there called Thank You, Amy, and the K and the I and the M are all capitalized. So of course, this is kind of like making us all think that it's about Kim Kardashian and the whole thing that went down with her and Kanye and the edited phone call that was leaked and all that, correct?
Yeah, I think that was a lot of like fake posturing bullshit. I think that was more of like media stuff that the media made up rather than like a real thing. And I mean, Kim K, but like that didn't do any damage to Taylor. Like, I don't think that did any damage to her reputation because it's
No.
like, oh, fucking Kanye's crazy ass, doing this shit again.
So in the song, she says, I've changed the name and any defining clues. Is that what it is? I think that's
Sure.
the lyrics. To hide who you are, but like you're the only one who would know, So they're saying that it's about Kim, and there's also a line in it that says, when your kid comes home from school and she's singing my song, you and I are going to be the only ones who know that it's about you, So everyone thinks it's Kim because she capitalized Kim and thank you, Amy. And
This is kind of where they lose me. I mean, I get it. It's kind of cool. But, we're talking about like, I don't mind a fuck you song or a good fuck you song or this. This, when it gets this far into it, it's almost like, watching a girl cat fight. Like, I'd rather watch an MMA fight than a girl cat fight on the thing.
Sure.
It's just.
I think it's the same as like
Why don't she come out with just a straight up diss track?
how is it any different than anybody else who wrote diss tracks like you were talking about? Like, this isn't new, but the reason why it's so cool, I think, is just maybe the internet. She's just a different time.
It was cool back then. I'm just saying there's a lot of it.
Normal diss tracks are a little bit more specific, and you gotta know who it is.
Yeah, the diss tracks, they just call you out by name and talk about fucking your mother, shooting you in the back of the head and stuff like that.
Here's a hot take. What if it's about a bitch named Amy?
Because she said, I changed your name and all defining clues.
Oh.
And like, that's in the lyrics. So,
Well, what if it's a double
she
cross?
also said,
what if
and
it's a clone?
actually-
Yeah. It's the third Biden
what were
clone.
you going to say? Double cross and what?
It's a double cross, and it's actually about a girl named Amy, but she changed the name, but she actually didn't. The changed name lyric was just to throw the fans off.
What
and
if
it
it's
was in the
about a
open
girl
the whole
named
time.
Amy and she changed the name, but she changed it to AMI?
She did. It was AMIEE, right?
Amy Mann?
It's a weird way of spelling Amy.
Is that about Amy Mann?
Who's that?
She's a singer that's probably 55 years old now.
No, probably not.
Probably not. Although she would probably be a fan.
Amy,
I had a theory that
what
you guys remember
won't
Britney
do.
put out that song.
Brittany.
The boys and all of the girls are begging to F-U-C-K me, and it was if you
Yeah.
CK me, but it was code for if F-U-C-K
Yeah,
me.
it's been done a few times.
So I wondered if she was using Amy like a code, like Britney did. And I don't know. I asked TikTok and I didn't get a lot of
Mhm.
feedback from the Swifties.
Yeah, I get all my facts from thumbnails,
A lot
or
of you,
screenshots.
no comments. So I don't know. I don't know. It's
I don't-
still up in the air. Maybe they don't know. They're like, who's Britney?
So is she? You said there's going to be another one of these that.
Oh yeah, there's a theory that's on May 3rd, which is just because it was supposed to be a fortnight after she dropped the last one. So next Friday,
When was her last record put out? The one
last
before this?
Friday,
The one before this.
midnights,
Oh.
right?
Midnights? Yeah, that was what?
Wait,
That was
did
like
she
a
do
full year
Taylor's
ago?
version of something though? Maybe.
Oh, yeah, she
Women-
did. She
Speak-
did.
Speak now.
Yep. Yep.
Now, for those Taylor's version, are they basically exactly the same versions? Instrumentals? I mean, like
Mostly,
using the same instruments. There's not like remixes or anything like that. It's basically just a reproduction.
she'll
of
change a lyric sometimes, right?
Yeah.
But my question is, so she could or somebody could send a bunch of studio guys in and they can just bang out all of her records music wise,
Yep.
just by the blueprint. And then she can, like your grandpa, fly in and knock out some vocals, back out on the road. So that's what's happening there.
Pretty much.
Gotcha.
And
then,
there's a lot of Joe Alwyn, the London boy.
yeah,
He actually wrote some of the songs.
which ones on this record?
Nope, on Midnights.
So she sang them that he wrote. Should she give full credit?
He has a fake name.
Hmm.
So forever here on out, forever and always, he's taken care of with his songwriting, credits for those songs.
At what age do you think she'll stop with the Easter eggs? Or is she just going to take that on
Well,
and keep
she'll
rolling?
never, I don't think
Yeah,
she'll.
she loves it too much.
Do you think it's as elaborate as they all make it out to be? Because I think some of them are just nuts.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, it's definitely not as elaborate. But she fucking pays attention. Like she watches the TikToks. She's done some super elaborate shit. Like the shit that she does with dates is like pretty insane, because you'll be like, well, if you count all the letters in her name and then you add that and divide it by 2, then that means she's gonna put out the album on May 2nd or something like that. And it's like, well, actually that's true. Like she actually does insane shit like that.
And she was doing a peace sign a lot lately, which was a symbol that it was going to be a double album. Because she released the lyric or the titles of just a few of the songs,
When
and
did
then
she
at
start doing it?
12 midnight
the
released
Easter
them
egg
at
shit
2 a.m.
When did the Easter egg shit start? Not
since
during
the
the
beginning.
Surely not during the country
So
years.
it started kind of like the "Thank You, Amy" thing with the KIM. It started like that, but it was in the CD. You know, the CD.
Which record though? I mean, like how many records in?
The first one.
Tim McGraw record.
The very first one, she would capitalize certain things and it spelled out something.
Interesting.
But I haven't been a Swiftie since then, so
she's probably autistic.
it's possible.
Probably.
Maybe we're all a little autistic.
Superpower.
Autism didn't even exist 60 years ago.
Yeah, before
It exists
fucking
when I was a
vaccines, dude.
We need to get Robert Kennedy on here.
We're defunded now.
Yep.
Pepper said vaccine.
That's the good thing about this podcast. We don't have to worry about getting demonetized.
Yeah.
As long as they don't
It's
start
like-
charging us money, we'll be
We're
fine.
just worried about getting monetized.
Yeah.
Vaccine would be a pretty name. Vaccine.
Oh, that's true.
Would you spell it with X's?
Ooh, that's cooler.
VA.
That'd be a good stripper name.
Vaccine Nelson.
Coming to the stage.
Vaccine.
Nelson.
Okay, so
Jab.
wait, back to Tay, because I feel like Torture Poets Department.
All right, so
Definitely
she's
about
been doing.
Maddie Healy.
Let me get
Some
caught up
songs are
here.
about
Hold
Joe
on.
Alwyn.
Stop. So, 13-year-old, or how old was she when she started?
Yeah.
16, something like that. Country, goes pop, splits with her label, acts like she was shocked that they owned all her shit. But I mean, and I get both sides of that. It's like, you know, it's a drag that they own your music, but nobody would know who the fuck you are without Big Machine to begin with.
Yeah.
Now that you get that famous, it's much easier to tell everybody to fuck off. And now that you've got your foot in the door, but I mean, she did get a lot of help from Big Machine to get her to be Taylor Swift.
You're not on tour with Brad Paisley without fucking Big Machine. Like
Right.
I never got that beef, dude, because I mean, she got, and I mean, maybe it was a little bit more extreme, but she got treated like every other fucking country star on a label.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like she got fucked over. It's like, that's how it goes for everybody.
Right.
Everybody.
Yeah.
But I mean, she did the Prince things. Like, I'm just going to re-record all my shit and own it.
Do you remember when we called Scott Borchetta?
Yeah.
I have it on video somewhere. I called and left this really long message.
Speaking of Scott Borchetta, they just signed Motley Crue to Big Machine. I saw.
Ugh. Motley
Yeah.
Crue is one, if not the worst band I've ever seen live.
I saw him live.
Did you?
Yeah, when they opened for Alice Cooper, because Lindsay
yeah.
and Chuck's Alice's bass player. So I went with Lindsay to go see him here.
I was about to say, like, yeah, you probably know their fucking tour manager or some shit because you fucking know everybody. But whenever they did that comeback tour in like 2008 or 2009, I was the first show on that comeback tour in Columbus, Georgia, and it was unimaginably bad. The only cool part was titties. There was titties everywhere.
Oh yeah, they've been
It
there.
was like Talladega.
young titties.
No.
Not now.
I was gonna say
There were young titties when I saw them, but it was on the Dr. Feelgood tour. So they were
Yeah.
kind of in their prime back then.
Yeah.
That's when I got yelled at by Tommy Lee from his floating drum.
Oh
out
yeah,
there.
that's a good story.
The floating drum kit was cool.
Yeah, well,
But-
this was the they had the spinning one. This one just came out over the top of the audience.
Yeah.
You know, with the municipal auditorium, and it was, I don't know, 10, 15 feet above our heads where it stopped. And me and my buddies were sitting around just fried, looking up, go, oh, fuck, that's Tommy Lee. And then he looks down and he's like, hey, put your fucking hands in the air. This ain't no fucking Bon Jovi show. And we're like, yeah, around. And everybody, he's talking. I was like, holy shit, he's talking to us. We're like, ah. So yeah, he called us out in front of everybody.
Yeah, when they told me that story, I was like, what did y'all do? And they were like, we put our hands in the air.
Put the horns
Tommy
up,
Lee.
man.
Have you
Like,
seen his penis?
Yeah, we were into it. Yeah. And then he threw his penis down and we climbed up on him.
And then you played drums.
He Rapunzeled us with his penis. Rapunzel.
Oh, man.
Anyway, from Tommy Lee's penis back to
Tay-Tay.
Tay-Tay. So this new record, clearly made by AI. I'm just kidding. So
Well, possibly.
a lot of Easter. Yeah, I mean, the music could be made by AI. Maybe she just comes in. Do you think she would be opposed to that if she could put it out and get away with it? Do you think she would be okay?
No, I think she's got too many like studio musician friends. I think she wants to take care of them. Like I said, I think she's a good person, and I think she takes care of her friends.
Same.
But I think if you ever cross her, I think you're better off fucking dead.
Yeah, and people talk like they're like, she's a good role model because she's just a nice, normal girl. And like, nobody that famous is normal. There's something crazy about her, which I probably would like meeting her, you know? And apparently the guy,
Anybody is normal.
yeah, but
For real.
uber famous
I
loaded
agree.
people,
They
they don't
can't
live in the
be-
same world as we do.
That's one of my worst nightmares, is to get super famous. I couldn't imagine that. I
Well,
see
buddy,
famous
you-
people.
You're gonna be famous because
You keep writing theme songs.
they slap.
They do
It's
slap.
fucking great.
I
I
am probably
still
the
have
best
it in my
at
head.
that. Yeah.
You've
Yeah,
heard-
everybody go check out Ari Shafir's new show. It's called You Be Trippin'. I did the theme song. It's very good. If you want a full version, hit me up. I also just did a theme song for a podcast called Baby Fat that should be coming out in the next month or so. So check that out.
I'm
for- and
just
for
gonna need you to send me all of them.
But for people who are listening,
I'm your number one fan.
people that are listening and don't know, Pepper was the guy that wrote the song, the theme song for Ari Shafir that we covered for Ari Shafir. So, and Pepper played bass on that tune, the re-recording of.
And then after
Did
that,
I?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember that.
When we made the video, I was like, well, we got to get Pepper on the song.
yeah.
Oh,
Just sent you the track and said, can you put a bass on this?
thanks, guys. I must have been super drunk for that.
Probably so.
And then after that, wait, and not after that, but after we covered Ari's song, we didn't even know Pepper. We just covered the song. We're like, we're fun. And then
COVID, that was not lots to do.
I get a notification on Twitter or X, formerly known as Twitter, and it said, this person and it had a video of Ari talking to them, Pepper and his old co-host on that podcast he did. And he and Ari was saying, oh yeah, like that was Willie Nelson's granddaughter, and Pepper's like, what? So they tagged me in it, and then I texted him like, hey, I want to, like, we should be friends. You do a podcast with me, and that one was probably pretty dumb because we weren't that great of friends yet. But then that's how we started like hanging out with them.
Yep.
Yep.
That's probably enough.
And we
to
hung
say.
out with him and his wife in Mississippi.
I love Annie so much. She's so cool.
Yeah.
What does Annie think of the new album? What is she just obsessed?
Oh yeah, it's all she's listened to since it came out. Like she's one of the ones where she'll listen to it all the way through once, which I mean it fucking came out at midnight. So I mean that's really hard to do, to listen to the whole thing all the way through the second it comes out. And then she's listened to every song over and over, trying to catch all the little Easter eggs. She's super deep into it.
Does she believe all the conspiracy theories?
You would have to like specifically ask her about specific things, but I really try to pay attention when she starts talking all that dumb shit, but it's so hard. It's so hard because I don't fucking care, dude.
So what is a straight white male at a Taylor Swift concert? Like, where do you keep you can't, seems like it would be hard to look around the crowd because you're going to like zone in on some young prepubescent girl, or, where do you look? I guess you just keep your eyes locked on the stage and your wife and just back and forth. How does a guy navigate a Taylor Swift concert if you're there with somebody else?
I think it's just you who has problems with keeping your eyes off of prepubescent girls. I don't think anyone else does.
Yeah, that's a weird thing to say.
That is a weird.
Everywhere you look, you're going to land on one is all I'm saying.
No, there's adults too. But yeah, it seems like that's a more of a you specifically problem.
Maybe, but I mean, adult. Are we going to put those in?
What were you wearing,
True.
Peps? Let's move
Oh,
on.
I was wearing a I could go get the shirt, but it looks like a death metal album. Like it all, the pile of sticks logos.
Oh yeah.
It was a Taylor Swift shirt. It said Taylor Swift in pile of stick death metal logo, and then it had a picture from Evermore of her like in the woods. It looked like a black metal album, but it was a Taylor Swift shirt.
Yeah.
I wore that at Talladega for Friday when the album came out. I wore the Taylor Swift shirt at Talladega in honor of the album release.
Are you just at every NASCAR event?
No, that was the first one I've been to since I was like a little kid.
Oh,
Dude, y'all have
Fuck
to
me.
play a fucking NASCAR race. I'm
I
telling
don't
you,
know how
like,
to do that. How do you do that?
so there were shows going on at the NASCAR race that had nothing to do with the NASCAR race. They had a fucking thrash metal show.
Nice.
Okay. Like, I feel like it would be very easy for y'all to get booked. And I think they would love you and you would love them. Like,
Are these like
especially Talladega.
NASCAR adjacent bars and stuff that just book around that, or is it part of like the whole thing?
So they have like a big show that NASCAR puts on, and it's like, I don't know this guy's name, like Walter Hayes or some shit. I don't know. Like some big country guy. And that was like the main
Walter
show.
Hayes.
I don't know, something like that.
We got to see if that's a real person.
Face.
Walter Hayes or Hunter Hayes or
Oh,
something like that.
Hunter Hayes is somebody.
Yeah, it might have been him.
He's young.
Yeah,
Yeah.
did he take Taylor? Are we
And then something Duggar,
Walker Hayes?
maybe.
That looks like a person.
But they played a big show in the infield. But then when we were there Sunday, there was just some dude with an acoustic guitar that was playing. He had his backdrop with his name on it and shit. And nobody was there. Like everybody had already left. This is Sunday way after the race. And there's like 200 people watching this dude play.
They're just still hanging out in town, waiting to go home.
Yeah. Like there's literally, it's after the race. It's like 10 or 11 at night after the race. There's still 200 people there watching this dude play a show. But there was a fucking thrash metal show in North Park. There was some other like rock or probably like a oldies, like classic rock cover band show somewhere. But yeah. And like Talladega, it's kind of a free for all. It's like all the official stuff that NASCAR puts on is like in and around the track. But like the campsites are just who cares?
Yeah, I like the culture of NASCAR. It sounds like a hoot.
Sounds
Dude.
like these.
Good place to go do mushrooms.
We said it 100 times. Like we did not meet one single asshole. It was unreal. Because when you meet, 5,000
Black
people,
people were there.
we did talk about that too. It was not a lot. We did. There was
sport, Raelyn. It's like same as a hockey.
Yeah.
They haven't dominated this sport yet.
Give them.
Yeah.
Give
They
them
got
time.
Bubba Wallace, and that's it. There was a very nice Black Republican family that was like 4 campsites down from us, and we gave them a koozie and a pack of playing cards, and
Oh,
So you
thanks.
say a
Try to
pack of
be nice.
Newports.
You're,
no,
you're
No.
in. You're in. You're officially in.
But yeah, everybody
Lucky.
was fucking cool. Like our neighbors. So
the
we've
end
never
or
been to a
now?
NASCAR race. We
Did you camp?
yes.
Okay.
So my buddy Phil has a tour bus because he's in a shitty rock band, and it's
Fuck
not
yeah.
like a tour bus. It's like one of those little short church buses
Right.
that was gutted out, and they built bunks inside of it and everything. So that's what we camped in. I slept in like
AC?
no, because the bus was broke, so we couldn't run the bus.
We've been in that bus before, I think.
Yeah.
We've had that bus. Everything was
but-
but the air conditioning, I
Yeah.
think, actually.
It was way less, or it was way more comfortable than I expected it to be, because they had like wooden bunks, but he had memory foam mattresses in there. And
Oh,
especially like when you jump in a bunk at like 2:00 in the morning and you drank like 40 beers that day, dude, it could be just raw plywood and you're gonna go to sleep. Like it doesn't matter. So our neighbors have gone to every race for 30 years. and they came over and was like, "Hey guys, what's going on?" We met them, and they're like, "Dude, we got like a ton of extra tickets if you guys want to come check out our seats." We're like, "Okay, we'll do that." We went and checked out their seats, so much better, and they like fed us because we ran out of food. Like we woke up Sunday morning, we're like, all right, what's for breakfast? And it was like, well, we have 2 pounds of ground beef and a couple of tortillas. So that's all the food we have left.
We're having a little meat soup today, boys.
Yeah. So like they fed us a couple times. They were awesome. We met some guys from a podcast called Left Turn Cult, and they had a whole fucking camping area. It rained Saturday night, which is like the big party night. And my buddy Phil was like, dude, we can't like come to Talladega and not party. Like we have to do something. And I was like, dude, I'm not getting soaking ass to the bone wet and walking around this place. And I hit up this guy named Cody. And he was like, yeah, dude, we got fucking tarps. We're playing beer pong in this bitch. Like we're having a great time. So we went over there, hung out with them, and then it stopped raining at some point. And they're like, yo, you want to go to the party? You want to go in the infield? And there's like a thing called Talladega Boulevard.
No diddy.
Where it's like
No diddy.
like probably 3/4 of a mile long. It's completely lined on either side with campers and shit. And people build like bars. Like people construct all this crazy shit. There's stripper poles. Like
Nice.
yeah, it's all kinds of crazy shit. So we ended up loading up in a truck and they drove us down to the boulevard. We got to see some fat girl rubbing her pussy on a bunch of scaffolding and stuff like that. Like we interviewed a couple
Some of
people.
that Bama beef.
Yeah, dude. Because there was a video going around of like some super hot girl like flashing her tits on like a flatbed trailer, and it was like, yo, this is Talladega. It's like, no. It is, but also that's Talladega. It's like, yeah,
It's like
you
that
have
without a filter.
yeah, you have the 10 flashing their tits on a flatbed trailer. You also have the 3.5 like showing her asshole on some scaffolding. Like there's a broad spectrum of things that happen.
All right, Raelyn, we're back to Taylor. We're done with racing, and
I bet
Taylor Swift sung a national anthem for a NASCAR race one time.
Where were your seats at the Taylor show? Were they similar to your NASCAR seats where you could see most of it, but not all of it? Or what was that?
We were stage left, which I'm glad. Like, I don't think there's a bad seat in the house. Like,
Really?
I think you can pretty much sit anywhere. The only place I wouldn't want to be is like GA right next to the stage, because you could get fucked and like be behind like Michael Jordan and not see shit, you know?
Yeah.
I'm 5'7" 3/4, so sometimes I do struggle seeing over people, and I could see that being a problem.
Right.
But any actual seats, I think you're good. I wouldn't worry too much about like getting the right seat. So the benefit to our seats is we had a little backstage view, so we could see.
Yeah.
Because I like
out in the box.
Yeah, exactly. I like to be nosy and like watch what's going on backstage. I like to look at guitar techs. Like I got to see the guitar tech work the whole fucking time. And you would think Taylor Swift, man, you got shit going on. Brother was busy the entire time. Like he was restraining shit, tuning shit nonstop. Like that dude's a madman. And just to see all the little inner workings of like what makes the show happen, that was very fun. But as far as the actual show goes, you didn't miss anything. Like we were almost parallel with the stage. We were stage left. Like you would think that would be a shitty seat, but no, you could see everything.
How long a concert was it?
Long.
Fucking long, dude. It was like 4 hours, 3 hours, 4
Yes,
hours.
fucking long as fuck.
Like that's one of the things that I walked out with a new appreciation of. I was like, she is a fucking athlete.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be fair, fucking Bruce Springsteen's doing that, and he's 150 years old. So
Yeah, but not
easy with the
Yeah, but
more people,
his-
you know?
But his
Because
music
Clark
also
Watson's-
sucks.
Well, there's that true, but who wants to sit through fucking 3 hours of anything? That's too long for a fucking show. I'm sorry.
It is a lot.
I've just done one, but yeah, 3 hours, hour and a half, perfect time.
Sure.
90 minutes.
That's a little long, even maybe.
But
Well,
dude, you know how many songs she would leave out if it was only an hour and a half?
most of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she just play like 9 nights in a row and
Well,
do.
It is the Eras tour. So if she just went on a tour that was like called the Torture Poets Department, where she just did 31, well, fuck, that's 31 songs.
I don't think that's nearly as many as
Is
What
it?
the
she's
Eras
at
tour.
Eras. Yeah.
Oh,
but
yeah.
we can easily find out the set list. The Eras.
How many songs are on this record?
31. But then
31
there
on the
might be
Torture
another one.
Poets, whatever.
Yeah, but there might be another one coming out next
Yeah.
week.
So do you think she's just got a bunch of poetry and they're just cramming it together, making songs out of it, and like, let's squeeze some more shit out here? Or I think she's really passionate about these projects?
44 songs. Yeah, 44
Okay, that's too long.
songs. That is really,
I can't
really
think of anybody I want to hear 44 songs of.
And every song is like a new wardrobe or a new background. Like there's shit changing all the time.
dancers. It's a production.
Oh, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, and which isn't, like you said, you're not the target audience for
Not the
this.
target audience, but I can see why it would be. I mean, if you're going to play a place that big, you got to have a bunch of shit going on. You can't just be standing there.
Just observing the production as like a dude who knows how shit works is very fun. I would not go so far and say like it's worth the price of admission, because brother, admission is very, very expensive.
That's a large price.
How much
Yeah.
did you pay to be there?
Approximately.
Approximately.
I think just our seats, I might be off a little bit, but I want to say our seats, 2 seats was like $900.
Damn.
It's not too bad.
She's making a
What are you,
killing.
what are you talking about? That's
I don't
pretty
know what-
bad, dude.
Yeah.
And like
I was-
price wise, we had the shittier seats. Like there's seats that
Yeah.
are like front row and shit that are like, $1,200 a piece, shit like that.
It's crazy. It's like musicians or bands have never been bigger and smaller at the same time. You're
Yeah.
either fucking $200 a ticket or
Bigger
50
than a cover band, smaller than Elvis.
Yeah, it's crazy. There's really no middle ground anymore.
Yeah.
Do you think Taylor will ever do small clubs? Just her and her
No.
guitar.
No, I think that would cause massive amounts of problems.
I don't. She's past it.
Not even just sneak in, a
Would
surprise.
Elvis do that?
He did the comeback special.
Was that a small club?
It was in Vegas, but it was a small.
Nah.
They were in the round.
That's when he was coming on their backs.
Yeah,
Actually,
that was before he got fat again, though.
Who else?
I don't think she could do a thing like what's old buddy? God damn it,
John Cougar, Mellencamp.
No, you're out smooth Tennessee whiskey.
Oh, Chris Stapleton.
Yeah, he does like a night with Chris Stapleton, and it's like an intimate event where you sit at a table and
He's
shit.
not as big as Taylor or Elvis.
No, but like, there's no way she could do that.
Annie, she can't hear us.
Oh, tell Annie that we need to know her.
Annie.
Annie!
Aaron, they want to ask you some Taylor Swift questions.
Yeah, let's get a hardcore Swiftie in.
Yeah, we need it in here. Okay.
Ladies and
Put
gentlemen,
the mic like right here.
Annie Goins.
Like an
Annie
entry.
Goins.
Yellow.
Hey, pretty girl, how are you?
Good. How are you, beautiful?
Good. Okay,
Oh,
so
thanks. I appreciate you saying that.
You too, JB.
Oh.
For both of you.
Right.
so my first thing is obviously this is about mostly Maddie Healy, right? The Torture Poets Department.
Okay, so I just pulled up at the house and I have a text message from one of my Swiftie friends.
Here we go. This is
It
what I'm here for.
says, it says, I know you're busy watching a podcast. 'Cause I told him I was coming home to listen to y'all. And he was like, smallest man who ever lived is about who? Him and his mom are arguing about if it's for Joe or Ratty. So, because if I say Ratty, it's Maddie Healy.
It's
Got it.
inside Swiftie
Ratty.
talk.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
he's a
so
rat.
That
Be-
should have been on B.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, so we call him Ratty. So if you listen to the whole album and listen to the manuscript, she goes back and says that like all of these are stories throughout her entire life. So at first I was like, okay, this is about Joe, this is about Ratty, this is about her. But I think it's all like different aspects of her life and her different albums. So I don't know. I
Do you
did
think
think
we're getting more songs next? Have you heard this one that we might be getting a third chapter coming out next Friday?
Yes. Yes. So we'll see. She's no, no. What is the date of next
That would have been
Friday?
it'll be a fortnight after the first time, or when she
I
released.
don't know. We'll see. I think 31 is aggressive for
Right?
this span of
I haven't
time.
been able to process them.
And that's why, like, I literally, like, the last 2 days, I've been like, I think it's about, like, everybody that she's ever come in contact with. Because, I mean, you have everybody.
Yeah. So
So,
you don't necessarily think it's okay. Moving on. Because you and I could do this later. So
What do you think
thank
about?
you, Amy.
What do you think
We
about
need
the
to-
clone rumors that she's a clone? Anton LaVey's
This is
daughter's clone.
We already had to go through all this.
No?
This is ridiculous. Thank you, Amy. Do you think it's about Kim? Do you think it's because she says that line where it's like, I changed your name and any defining clues or whatever, or code or whatever? Like,
so I think it's a red herring for somebody else. But like
Yeah.
I said, it goes back to
Double
anybody she's ever come in contact with. So, I mean, the
who
kid
was talking
thing.
shit about her that her
this-
mom hated?
Wait,
Who
can
is this person?
You guys fill me in real quick. What is the beef with Kim K just because of Kanye, or did her and Kim K have?
Kim filmed the phone call and edited it up, right?
Yes.
She's also done some
And then released it. And then she was going on talk shows about like the whole thing, and Kanye wasn't. Kim talked about it openly all the time on their show and docs Taylor for a lot of stuff. The snake thing, like National Snake Day.
Oh, and Reputation, her version, Taylor's version of Reputation may be coming out on Kanye's birthday, right? Have you seen that one?
Yeah, I would
So
love
would
that.
you say amongst the Swifties?
I'll show you the phone call
amongst the
video
Swifties,
later.
Who's more hated, Kim K or Kanye?
Kanye, 100%.
More hated than Kim K?
Yeah, do you remember when he got up on stage and took that
but he
moment from Tay Tay?
He had that one time, but apparently Kim K's been working behind the scenes and talking on talk shows all the
Kim
time.
K did the phone call thing and then edited it up to make Taylor look worse, or make things look a little.
That seems more egregious than drunken Kanye getting up and stealing valor, because it sort of worked in her favor. That turned everybody on to Taylor Swift. Seems like Kim K working those back channels. I don't know. If I was a hardcore Swiftie, I think I would dislike Kim K more than Kanye. Maybe it's just, I have a soft spot in my heart for Kanye with his Hitler love.
I think it's both. And we'll see what Kanye does at all these award shows next year with everybody being up for like the Grammys and stuff. Cause Eminem's releasing his new album. You have Ariana's new album. You have Casey Musgraves. Like it's Beyonce. It's going to be like an aggressive awards show season.
They probably won't let Kanye even come to the awards. Like, dude, not this year, buddy. Not this year.
He'll
There's
figure
a lot
it
of
out.
lot of diss tracks going on in the hip hop community too. So it could get ugly here soon. A lot of Drake, and I've been watching a lot of them.
They just go back and forth constantly. Like it's been so aggressive.
It's like every Thursday. Thursday's the day that I watch reaction videos of dudes. I don't even know what the beefs are between these people, but it's funny listening to a guy diss another guy and one guy laughing and going, "Oh shit," every time pausing it. I don't know. I'm a fan of the diss track.
Have you, you've been more, you just know more than I do. I want to know, has she used red herrings before?
Yes, because so the reason that the 3-2-1 thing's been a huge thing lately, and I mean, she was acting like she was about to announce like Rep TV, and that's what everybody was like when the award show happened and she released the Torture Poets Department. Everybody thought it was going to be Reputation because right before the award show started, all of her websites shut down, and all in the coding, it was like Reputation stuff. And if you went to the website, it would say like error 3-2-1, and you have the 3-2-1, let's go bitch, or 1-2-3, let's go bitch. So that's like, we were ready. And then she was like, just kidding.
So let me ask you guys this. How big, I would imagine most of these Easter eggs, red herrings, all that shit, Taylor thinks up. How big of a team do you think does she have a whole Easter egg team as opposed to like a musical team or whatever, like gets together with the crew and like, all right, here's how we're going to fuck with people. And how big,
What do you think? Do you think
big
she's
do you
coming up
think
with
that
this?
team would be? Or does she have a team? It's like, dude, I got a great idea. And she's like, got it sectioned off for just that part of her career.
What do you think?
We were just talking about it. So from
I
Stephen
think I'm a Swiftie now.
Colbert, she talked about it and she was like, sometimes I plan these like 4 years in advance. Like she
What?
was straight up. And what was it? The Bejeweled music video. She said there was so many Easter eggs and like red herring stuff in it. They have like a USB drive that's like just an Excel spreadsheet of all the stuff that's in it. She's like, you're never gonna find all of it. And I'm like, I'm waiting for the day that a book or a TV show comes out where she goes through that Excel spreadsheet and she's like, this is like everything that you guys missed. And we were talking about, I was like, I wonder if we ever come up with something so crazy. And she's like, I'm gonna add that to the fucking list. I didn't mean to do that. Like, how many Easter eggs and how many red herring things are so they would
But you guys have made
accidentally
up.
happen.
Like, sure. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she's like, I'm gonna go with it.
Yeah.
That happened. I did that on purpose. But I
Yeah.
feel like you do it for so long and people figure out like all your niche things that they're like, she does it on accident. And we're like, oh, we see that. And she's like, oh, yeah. So
Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe she doesn't even have a team anymore. She's like, fuck, I'll just put stuff out.
They'll figure it out.
We'll create something. They can just take anything and interpret it anyway.
'Cause
That
they
would
get-
be a blast.
They get really ridiculous with it too.
I have 2 whole group chats for it.
Are they? What's the difference in the group? Just different friends, or is it like, team? I believe.
So I have like
team,
a
I believe
side
this.
person. So I don't know if you ever heard of Gaylor, but they're
Gaylor?
people
We're
that
just-
think
we're
she's like
discussing
Oh
Gaylor.
yeah, he knows
really.
Gaylor. Yeah.
That's the
So
fucking
I have
shit
a
I've heard.
friend that's completely against it, and I have one that she thinks like the moment the album came out, she thought every song was about all these different like females that she's been friends with in the past. And I was like, how can you listen to that and be like, that's what is her, Diana Argon? Like she thought immediately like 4 songs were about her. And she comes up with like hard evidence. Like she will send you screenshots of like pictures and old videos. And she's like, no, 100%, this is what it's about.
So let me
But
ask
why
you.
would she want us to
Hold on,
think
hold on.
that Thank You Amy is about Kim if it's not?
Hold on, I need to ask you guys this.
That's kind of
You're
mean.
getting into the weeds. I need to ask you. So, are there camps of Swifties, like the Gaylor camp and the
I guess so.
certain camps that believe certain
Oh,
things? And do
absolutely.
they battle? Do the
Some
camps
of them
battle
get
each
into
other?
pretty hardcore, like,
Comments, intense comments.
yes, like Reddit.
on the
Reddit
TikTok.
is a battlefield.
Oh, I'm not on Reddit. Okay.
Like the Gaylor Reddit is a complete battlefield with people arguing back and forth about it.
I don't think Taylor's gay. Do you? I don't think that there's any relevance to that.
I'm a huge.
I don't think she's gay. I think Travis Kelce's gay. I'm just
Oh,
kidding. I think that's
no.
probably the Gaylor. Is that
he brings his friend Ross everywhere, and Ross used to live with him. Like every.
this is part of the Gaylor?
So
So
thing?
they were watching everything.
No, I love him so much. So I would hate to say. And we were just talking about so they were spotted out at dinner again yesterday, and Travis always sits with her like to her side, and Joe never, like her ex-boyfriend, always sat across from her. And every picture that you see of them eating together, he's sitting next to her, and she's like, it's such a beard move.
Because
For
he's
him to
proud
sit.
of her and Joe wasn't.
No, that's because
That's what I
his
said.
boyfriend's sitting directly across from him. They just crop him out of the picture.
Well, no, he was always in the pictures, and he looked completely miserable all the time, and so did she.
Joe. Yeah.
So,
No,
but
I'm
he's
talking about-
always
And also, Joe wanted privacy and didn't want any kind of out
I guess it's cute,
And
but
Travis is
if you're
secure.
eating and sitting together,
and happy.
sitting next to each other's that's a wild move. So you have to eat and like do this the whole time to talk.
Not if you think about everybody's getting pictures of us. It's probably a better.
God, that would be a terrible way to live.
I mean, it's an awful picture. The one that they got from yesterday, like it's all blurry, but they're. Oh, let's see. It's probably gonna be glary, but it's like it's
It's
terrible.
blurry. Yeah.
So we'll
This is
see
all
what happens with that.
Fascinating. So does the Gaylor group believe that Travis obviously is just a beard and all these other people wear beards?
That he's paid to. So he was actually signed
That's
to.
good shit. Yeah.
What is it when people like want to go into like the Actors Guild and stuff? He was signed to publish this company right before they started dating, so it makes it look like really
Right.
set up and planned.
Then he got his Pfizer sponsorship and he made more money off the Pfizer commercials than his NFL contract.
Wow.
That's wild. I mean, it is wild how much money he made just from doing commercials recently, and having Tay-Tay around certainly helps boost this.
And he doesn't have to spend money on her because she's got her own money.
And he lives in Kansas City, or he's got a house there. I mean, first, like a $6 million mansion looks like $100 million mansion in Kansas City. It's wild.
Well, and he had to buy that house because people were showing up at his other house and trying to break in.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't he like set up a spot for our cats?
I hope he did.
That was a good
man would.
Like a whole big inside area, massive
Well,
cat spot.
As a gay man playing in the NFL, he already had a cat spot set out for it,
Probably so. It's probably Ross's room.
Yeah.
You're right.
I don't know who Ross is, but I got to check this guy out.
The guy that they're claiming.
No, but I just don't know who he is.
Well, we'll find
Best friend. Is he a big burly kind of guy? Small?
I think from what I know, they were friends like since college, and he's lived with Travis ever since.
Nice.
And when he
Is he
went to
black?
go, yes.
Ooh, he does like black people.
A lot.
In the past.
He's a POC homie.
Yeah, he likes them big old asses. Well,
Does
used to,
Ross
not
have
anymore.
a big ass?
I don't know. I've only seen them like dressed up alike because they went to one of her shows in Argentina, I think it was.
Yeah.
And they were dressed like, oh no, it was Australia. They were dressed like Blue and Bingo.
Yeah, I'm sure
Does
Travis
he
was
look gay?
dressed
But he
like
went to because he went to Argentina by himself.
Does he look gay? Ross? Just a little bit? Okay. Or a tiny bit.
Raelyn might be getting into the Gaylor camp.
I need to get on one of them
I
group
gotta
chats you got going.
Can
Can you ask if I
It's
can be
aggressive.
joined?
I'll add you to it.
Okay. I need maybe not the Gaylor or maybe both. I need to hear about Gaylor too.
I mean, dude, so that's who I'm going to Miami with, is my huge Gaylor friend. And
When?
she
Gaylor convention
in
Miami.
October.
What's happening in Miami and with the Gaylors?
Ross is doing a show there. They're all
No, we're going to see Taylor in October.
Oh. Do you think is it Eras still? She's still doing Eras? Or
Yeah.
Beep. Okay.
excuse me.
Okay, so you tell us your perspective of the Eras show when you went.
I don't remember anything, so I'm so glad I'm going again. I just blacked out. I don't.
Because you were
Pepper
just
went
so
to-
happy.
I was so excited. Pepper went to get beer, and that's the last thing I kind of remember.
Wow. This is a powerful woman. Maybe it is witchcraft. She was in a trance. Clearly, it's some
Do you
satanic
think
rituals
she's
going on.
satanic? Yeah, what would you say to a religious lady who thinks all these rumors of her being the satanic stuff? What would you say to that lady?
I made a comment the other day. I was like, the same people who are saying she's satanic is the same ones that read the fairy smut books. So they can't really say anything. You want to talk shit about Taylor Swift on Facebook? Share your fairy smut books with the world too. While you're at it.
What's so dumb about that is like, again, I'm 100 years old, but back in my day, the people that were getting accused of Satanism were like Ozzy Osbourne or Black Sabbath. They had upside down crosses on the stage and bats flying around. They were going for that. None of them were satanic, but they were
There
going.
was a summon the demons thing, but I think that's more of like a Swiftie thing, not Taylor, right? In the Eras.
Where she dances with the globes on the stage, and then
It's
some
kinda
guy in the audience was like, summon those demons, and like it just went along with the music, and then people started doing it every
and it
show like a
kicked up every
chant.
show. So every show. So that
So
would make
basically,
anyone
A
think.
Taylor Swift concert now is almost like the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Everybody, the audience has their
Oh, yeah,
times
I
where they
guess maybe.
chime in, sing along, do their things.
Maybe.
Pepper's just drinking beer. He's like, well, I was talking about Taylor Swift, but I'll just hang out now.
You need another microphone. We should start a podcast with just the four of us, maybe, and we just talk about
It's
Taylor.
called Just the Four of Us. Taylor Swift.
I could read y'all all of the lore.
Give us a couple lore. Give us some lore.
Couple
What do you?
lore.
A couple lore.
Just one or two lores.
Just
Let
lore.
me see if I can, because we've been all over the place today.
Well, what's interesting? Like, what's the latest thing for you in the last couple of days that you've been excited about as far as lore goes?
Or freaked out about or
Yeah, anything.
astonished.
So like I said just a second ago, we are going back to the Eras tour in October. And they just posted like a little clip of her practicing, and you can barely see the side of like a Tortured Poets Department logo. So they're adding the Tortured Poets Department to the set list.
There's already 44
And
songs
so-
on that list.
So it's going to be a 9-hour show?
So back to the 3-2-1 thing. So it's 2 hours and 43 minutes to be exact, without the 2 surprise songs. So if she adds 5 more songs, it could end up being 3 hours and 21 minutes long. So it'd go along
Does
with the
numbers
3-2-1 stuff that's been going on, because she's autistic and loves numbers.
Definitely autistic.
Yeah.
Oh, she's totally on the spectrum somewhere.
Smack dab on the high end.
She does. She's kind of like a Rick Glassman-y kind of. Not as funny, but kind of funny.
Is she?
It's kind of as funny. It's just not as intentional.
Has she ever dated a short guy?
She's 5'10".
That's what I'm saying. Anybody shorter than her? Or are they all taller?
They're all about her height.
Maybe
and color.
maybe Ratty. Ratty was really short.
How tall is Ratty? Let me look it up. I'll look it up. Y'all continue.
How tall is Joe Allen? Maybe Joe
that up
Jonas,
too.
but that was a long time ago.
How tall is Maddie Healy?
Is his name Matt, or does he go by
Oh,
Matty?
he's 5'5", so he's kind of short.
5'5". He's
That's what it
really
says.
short. Bobby Lee, man.
That's why you never saw pictures of them together.
That could be.
Right.
She does slouch her shoulders like a tall girl.
Healy says he's 5'11",
Which means
but secretly
Allen is
people think he's
6'2".
5'5".
5'5" is extremely short.
That is really short.
But
He's shorter than me.
that would also look weird.
How tall is Joe Alwyn?
6'2".
There we go.
Oh, yeah, he's 6'2". That's. Oh my God, I love this so much. There is a chart of Taylor, Kelsey, and Joe in the heights.
Wow, this is,
It's a graph. Maddie Healy isn't on there, but
all right. Well, so now we've devolved into just looking at phones.
I know this must be so interesting. So Travis Kelsey is 6'5", Taylor's 5'11", and Joe Alwyn is 6'2".
Do they cheat on her height
Travis
and give her
wins.
an inch or two like they do in like NFL and NBA? They always like, hey, he's 6'7".
I think she's pretty fucking tall.
She's definitely tall. 'Cause
Yeah. Have you ever seen her next to Sabrina Carpenter? It is hilarious. But I think Sabrina Carpenter's pretty short.
you can tell she's tall just because she kind of slouches her shoulders, and all tall girls kind of do that because they get self-conscious about being tall when they were kids.
They're tall.
They really see a really tall woman with great posture. Those are the confident ones.
Sabrina Carpenter.
I'm telling you, it is so funny. She pats her on her head all the time. Because she, like, it's the most adorable thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Oh, yeah.
But I think she's like tiny.
Yeah, she's small. Who's that beast beside her?
Who's the other one beside
Like
that?
Winona.
Winona. No, it can't be. Well, there they look kind of similar, but she might be crouching. It's like a whole head taller. It's a whole head taller. Yeah, that's funny.
We'll be cutting all this stuff out.
Why?
I'm just kidding.
It's not interesting to you? Well, okay. Anything that we should let everyone know? I think it's super possible that 2 weeks after the release date, which was last Friday, that there might be more stuff coming out just because Taylor's like that. And she's like, I will not stop writing and I will not stop putting out songs. I'm the best. I feel like that's what she's like.
Maybe, well, we don't have a physical copy of the anthology, so maybe that, or maybe another music video. But I don't know if she'll put out a whole nother.
Something's coming out on the 2 week mark though, right?
We'll see.
Fortnite mark. You don't think? Okay. Well,
She
if
puts
you
out
had
a
to guess,
whole
what would
nother
be the next
record.
video?
If she puts out a whole nother record, I'm leaning into the AI theory and go, man, they're just using AI at this point. Another 30-something songs coming out in a few days.
Right.
She didn't have that much time.
I know, and she has been doing the tour.
But
doesn't
she's
give a-
seen all the time at the Electric Lady.
Ah,
Wow.
such a goddess.
Describe what I'm showing.
Oh,
What is that?
this is the Black Dog one. So the vinyls in this one are black. It's very pretty.
Nothing says Satan like black.
What's your favorite song to listen to on the album? And then we'll get Pepper back on here.
Ooh, it keeps changing. What have I been listening to today?
Is this the new record?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh, The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived. That one really hurt. Even when Pepper listened to it, he was like, that kind of fucking hurts my feelings.
Who's
It's
that
a
about?
good one.
But okay, but the first listen through, what was your favorite like one to listen to? Because the Tortured Poets Department was mine, which is so weird. It's usually not the.
I enjoyed Who's Afraid of Little Old Me. That was, I love
Yeah, that's
her
good.
voice in that one.
Yeah,
The
it's
deep
good.
and the scream. And it was very, I was like, this is way more theatrical than I thought it was going to be. Am I watching a musical right now? And so I like panic bought stuff because I didn't know what was going to be on things. So, and the excuse I use for that is I blacked out. So I blacked out and accidentally bought 2 of these.
So basically, Annie hasn't seen or heard any Taylor, so she always blacks out at the good part. She blacks out at the concert. She blacks out during the records.
It's too much. She just can't handle it.
She likes the idea of Taylor Swift. I've never actually been conscious to hear her or watch her
No,
or listen to any of her music, but it does something.
I had watched enough of the live streams that when we actually got there, I was like, I already knew everything that was going to happen. And I was just so overstimulated and excited that the rest of it was just a blur. And we had walked around Atlanta for like 8 hours before we went to the actual concert.
That'll do
And
it.
then we didn't even watch like the last 2 songs. We left there in the song before the last because I already knew it was going to happen. I had to pee so fucking bad, and Pepper had to pee, and we didn't want to fight traffic. So we just listened to the rest of it as we walked
Yeah,
out.
the trick I've heard is to leave it during Karma.
That's what we did. We
Yeah.
listened to Karma as we pissed, and we walked outside. And as soon as we got outside of the arena, Maroon started playing, and that's like the song that they play while everybody's leaving. I was like, that was such good time. We didn't get into any traffic. We smooth
impressive.
sailed out that bitch in Atlanta. We were like oblios.
Yeah,
Man.
that's the trick, everyone. If you've learned nothing else from this whole podcast, if you go to the Eras Tour, leave during Karma, go pee, and leave, and you'll be good.
It was perfect. But now, I mean, not now, because I mean, like I said, they're gonna add Tortured Poets Department
Oh,
to
yeah,
it,
you-
so we'll
Oh,
see.
yeah. Fuck. We'll have to wait.
Have to
Now it's
wait.
gonna be even longer.
Yeah.
Annie, thank you so much for doing this with us. Please add me to those group messages like immediately so that I can be in the know.
Absolutely,
Pass the word along to
you'll
me.
get into the Gaylor lore of it all.
I need to know.
Yeah, I need to
everything.
know all about Gaylor because that's the one thing that really latched on their minivan rides with her
I was like,
chirping in my ear about Taylor shit. And you're like, wait,
Like,
Gaylor?
what the fuck are Gaylors?
I was like, I like that. That's funny. Anyway, let's hear more about Gaylor. I'm
So
Team
wait,
Gaylor.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Gaylor is actually all the people who think she's gay. That's what
Yes.
that is?
Oh, you
Okay.
thought we called her Gaylor?
Yeah.
Like a
I like that.
No, it's-
We called her like she's not a member of these. You're not a card carrying Swiftie.
No, it's a
apparently,
Swiftie.
'cause-
It's a form of Swifties are the Gaylors.
I love that.
Ah,
Oh, I'm
thank
Team.
goodness.
I'm gonna
This
get a
makes sense
T-shirt.
now.
They sell Gaylor T-shirts.
yes.
I will be getting one of those because I'm
I'll
Team
get you
Gaylor.
one.
Thank you.
I'll send you a link. I have a hookup on Etsy.
yes.
Nice.
Send me
Send
everything.
The link. I want a Gaylor shirt.
Love you. Mwah.
Love you, mwah.
Are you guys
Perfect.
familiar with this sketch guy? Apparently, some streamer. He was just on Theo's
Yeah.
podcast.
No, I haven't watched it yet. That pug.
He's kind of funny.
Really?
He's
wait.
definitely. I can't figure out how he's so popular. He just started streaming Madden on Twitch.
He pretended to be like autistic or something.
Maybe
Is he
he's
pretending to
autistic.
be? Because he certainly is doing it this whole episode and very effectively, like twitchy and. It's like,
No,
hey,
there's videos where he breaks character.
Oh, is
Annie
it?
found some, and she was very disappointed.
I was talking about it today. Sketch being
Yeah.
fake. Fuck that motherfucker.
Oh, and now I got to do a deep dive because he's doing a great job of being fake. And the only thing I've seen him on, I've heard people mention him, and then I saw him on Theo's podcast. Like, this guy's kind of funny. When I found him,
Yeah, he is funny. Oh, dude. Okay, speaking of Theo and speaking of funny and speaking of cool guys, I found in my Instagram algorithm somehow I got on Down syndrome guys, and it keeps
Yeah.
shoveling Down syndrome
Theo's
guys
just
in
on
my
one of their
face.
podcasts.
Yes. Something with Marley and Sean and Marley.
Yeah, I forget the name of
Getting
it.
down with Sean and Marley. That's what it is.
Apparently,
Dude.
one of them's there's only one that's Downs, but they kind of both look like it. But I haven't watched it yet, but I've seen the thumbnails.
Oh, it's so funny. And for some reason, Theo keeps doing like a weird Australian accent the whole time. I guess to relate to him. It's very interesting.
Well, that was what was so funny about Theo and the sketch guys. The sketch guy seemed just as batshit as Theo. They kind of were able to go back and forth, but it sucks that he's fake. Now, I did see
that's-
Jesse Lee Peterson, our other
Mhm.
black conservative.
You know Jesse Lee Peterson, right?
Amazing. What? We'll
I need to
use some
I need
clips.
to educate. Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's one of
Wait.
another guy I've just found that I think it might be doing a character, but it's very funny. Completely off topic.
Beta.
have to
You
fix
haven't heard that guy? Beta. Maybe you just don't know who it is. That black.
Black dude,
Black
amazing.
dude.
That's amazing.
That's amazing. And
Yeah, we
he's
gotta
always.
see some
No.
clips.
Oh,
Yeah, I gotta get educated on this.
This guy's wild.
Tom and Christina had him on their podcast because it's
That wasn't
so
that
crazy.
funny though.
No,
He's
It-
better on his
he's
own.
better on his own, but they had him on because he's so crazy. And Ryan Sickler was on it.
That was a pretty good one, actually.
Yeah, because you could see Ryan be like,
Like a
Are we still friends with him?
no. I mean, I haven't talked to him since like last March. But I assume we're friends.
Yeah, well,
Yeah. There's a lot of people that I'm not friends with anymore.
But I mean, are you not friends or you just not talk to them?
No, once I find out something about somebody, then you're either my friend or you're completely fucking dead to me. I have two modes. Well, I guess I have three. There's a third mode where if you fuck me over, no, yeah, I
They
guess
don't
there's a
fuck you
third
over, but
mode.
You don't really talk to them. That's just,
Yeah,
You're not, but
if
if you
there's-
saw each other, you'd be like, "Hey,"
No. If like you fuck me over and I like now hate you, then I spend a lot of mental energy like hoping you die. And then when you do die, I have like 3 just super good days of like walking on a cloud. I have a lot
But
of
what
dead
about the
enemies. I
people
haven't
that
killed
you don't-
anybody.
Like, what if they're not dead to you, but they're not best friends? They're just normal.
Then they're cool.
There's
Yeah.
that mode too, right?
Sure.
I feel like that's what it is with Ryan Sickler. Like, it's just
Yeah.
like,
dudes have friends that you don't talk to. Well, certain
yeah, I
ones
talk to
you
him,
don't
but I
talk
don't
to
feel
for
like,
2 years, then you see him. Hey, what's up, dude?
hey, yeah.
Back at it.
Yeah.
I feel like if he was in Nashville and we ran in and we'd be like, hey, how's it going? We wouldn't be mean, or like I wouldn't feel
Yeah.
like we weren't friends,
No, they're
right?
good friends.
I mean, it's not like Thomas or anything. What?
Whoa.
Because we're like an hour and 40 minutes. Nobody's listening this long.
No.
Except for
No,
Tom, probably.
he'll definitely listen to the whole thing. So do we have any new enemies?
Mm, I don't think so.
No, thank goodness.
We spent
Just
a lot of
Yeah.
time.
except for the aforementioned person. He's the
spent-
latest enemy.
Spent a lot of time loading up on that one. Not much energy for anyone else.
Yeah. I'm gonna say it's nice.
nice.
It's nice to be in a spot where you're not making like constant new enemies.
Yeah,
Because
done
I was in that vein for a while. It's just a lot. It's a lot of energy to put into it.
yeah. Battling gets tiring, especially like online battling. Any of that kind of
Oh.
nonsense.
It's the worst.
It's also
It's
pretty
so
bad.
easy to control. Just abstain from
Just
it.
don't.
I mean,
Don't do it.
it's not like in middle school where they're like, you can't have sex. Like that's hard. Like not fighting with people on the internet. That's really easy. You just don't fucking do it. You see something that pisses you off, and it's like, okay, well, here's what happened. This was engineered to piss me off because all Twitter and Facebook and stuff care about is engagement. Like people literally get paid from engagement. So if you get on there and be like, no, the spoiler on that car actually looks cool. You're a fucking idiot for saying it looks stupid. Then you just gave them exactly what they want. And then every person that disagrees with you underneath, they get paid for that shit too. It's just all like there's so much baiting and shit going on right now. It's the whole it's Fox News. That's their whole fucking thing. It's like they'll say some shit and then people disagree with it. And then guess what? They're watching.
Yeah.
They're fucking watching.
That's the news in general, my brother. That's what it's there for.
Yeah.
To anger people.
Yeah.
But
It's
anyway, now
fucked
we're
up,
off.
man. You could just choose not to participate,
Yeah. Drop
Yeah.
out.
Be happy.
Yep, that's what I do. Unless, of course, someone fucks you over personally, and then it's a little more.
Sure.
Even then,
That
after a while, Fuck him.
Fuck 'em. Bitch,
Yeah.
give me back my money.
So to sum up, Taylor Swift's a Satanist, a clone, gay. Her hair.
Well, you already
is
said
curly.
Satanist. So.
Oh, that's true. And she's got a flat ass.
And she's a genius. No, that was in the 1989 era when she was anorexic and sad.
That-
Now it's a little more plump.
I disagree. I've seen Travis Kelce's ex-girlfriends.
If we're comparing,
I mean, you
Yeah,
want to talk about?
All us girls need is for you guys to be comparing.
Yeah, it's there though. But I have a very specific taste.
Okay, well then we'll just compare two. How about that?
Sure.
There we go. Did we cheers yet?
I think Raelyn's a little drunk.
Cheers. I'm actually not. I want to go get another beer.
I don't even have
And
a
the only thing
I went
preventing
and got a beer and I offered you one. And when you got another beer, you didn't offer me one. Remember that?
You were too busy talking. I asked.
You were talking
You just
when I
had your
did it.
headphones on.
No, you didn't.
Oh, I meant to.
that was rude.
Okay, well, this has been real. You've done a great job. Annie did a little better. I'm not going to lie, but
Yeah, if
you
you
did
wanna-
good.
If you want to edit me out of this, then that's totally okay. I get it.
I'm definitely not doing that.
We'll edit them.
I'm not doing
back
shit.
to back, point by point, counterpoint.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing this with the Peps. It's fun. It's fun
We
catching up
didn't
with
mention
you.
Pepper's podcast. We'll
Where
put
can
this at the
everyone
beginning
find
too.
you?
Oh yeah.
History buffs.
History buffs at it's not at Pepper
History-
Mountains.
It's at historybuffs228. You can email us at historybuffs228@gmail.com. Just email us and we get some cool emails.
Why can't I think of your handle right now? It's not Pepper.
It's historybuffs228.
Pepper Cuts Grass.
Yeah.
At Pepper Cuts Grass on all social media platforms, also for personal stuff. And check out Ari's latest podcast, We Be Trippin', and he does the theme song, and it fucking slaps. It's my new favorite song.
We should play the
And if
theme
you-
song behind our intro.
Where you been and where you going? This is Ari's travel show.
Can we put
Yeah.
that song in behind?
Should I do it now?
No, I mean
Yeah.
this episode.
Yeah, it has
Instead
to
of-
be the whole
If
thing.
you're gonna play it, play the
But-
full version that I sent you in the
send it-
text.
Did you have the
I
full
am.
version?
Full
Perfect.
version.
I'll put that at the
I'm
beginning.
gonna have to. I'm gonna text it to you again right now. So because we've texted too much since then, it takes too long for
Because
me.
I know when we
And
had
if
Ari on, I put his song on there. So this will just use Ari's song
Oh,
for
that's
the
great.
podcast.
And if you're thinking about starting a podcast, or you have a podcast, you don't have a theme song, hit me up. I can confidently fucking say I am the best podcast theme song guy on the planet. And that's
It's
just
true.
what it is. That's facts.
I think
God
that's-
has gifted me with one of the dumbest talents you could possibly have.
I feel like that's
Actually-
going to be the clip at the very beginning of this podcast.
And also, Peps, we still got to write a song together. We haven't done it yet. I did start writing $1,000 Blessing, but you just gave me that idea. But we have to like write another like real song together. That's not a theme song because you actually are a really good songwriter and it's good and catchy and you know how to rhyme and you
Nope,
know how to
just
make
theme
things make
songs.
sense. And I really think if you just like a real song is only like 3 theme songs in
Let's just-
one with
let's just-
something going over
That
and
is true.
over again.
That's,
And I
that's a
really
good
think
point.
you could probably be, I think you could probably be really successful as a songwriter and country singer or any kind
Honestly,
of
I think
singer.
one of his greatest tunes ever is the golf song.
Yes, my grandpa loved that one. Remember, he said it
I
was
know.
beautiful.
That's in my Twitter bio.
Do you have that you can send Raelyn the audio?
Golf?
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. It's
Send
on
that to
YouTube.
Raelyn. We'll pop that in this episode somewhere.
Every time I play live, I play that song and I preface it with like, hey, believe it or not, I don't fucking care, but this is true. Willie Nelson heard this song and he said it was beautiful. It's just, you hit the ball.
You hit the ball and I hit the ball.
Have you ever listened to Dan Reeder by any chance?
Nah, I don't read.
Oh, no, you'll love Dan Reeder. Oh my God.
I'll send you a
Well,
playlist.
Oh my God, you're the new Dan Reeder. You're the new Dan Reeder. Kind of.
Except Dan Reeder's still around, but
Except he's not dead.
Yeah. I'm
Living-
Danny illiterate.
LIP.
this has turned into a Joe Rogan podcast. It's gonna be like 4.5 hours going, hey,
Yeah.
remember that time we were in Mississippi doing mushrooms sitting in the van? That was fun.
I listened to one today. It was a guy who was trying to convince people that the moon landing didn't happen. And I listened to the whole thing.
I'm in
And at the
middle
end of it, I was like, you know what? I'm pretty sure we landed on the moon. I'm pretty sure this guy's retarded.
I don't
'Cause,
think
like-
I don't think we did. Because here's my thing about
Come
space
on,
is
dude.
the sun's up there, and how come every video footage from space there's no sun? Like the sun is so fucking bright. You got so fucking bright. You cannot go into space and there not be a sun. It doesn't make sense.
all
I don't
about
think we've been
reflecting.
there, but that's just
It's-
my autistic brain.
Well, they're not filming the
They're
sun
lying.
because you'll fuck up your camera.
But there would be some sort of light there, and anytime there's space footage, it's just dark. Like where's the
Okay.
fucking sun?
To end this,
Because the Earth is in sight, so the sun has to be somewhere close.
And
You know,
guess what? The
it
Earth
doesn't make
is
sense.
lit up bright as fuck because the
speaking of
sun's
the
behind
sun,
you.
Then the sun would be there, but it's not in there.
I was
Not
watching
there.
a roast last night of Jim Norton, Patrice O'Neill. I thought it's a pretty funny line. You speaking of the sun, I forget who he was ragging on, but he says people watch so and so's act like they're looking at the sun. He was like,
Oh,
it was very funny the way he.
like that's what you do. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh. But Patrice, that's my
that
guy.
was hilarious.
Anyway, fuck you guys. Well, fuck me.
That was so funny. Okay, sorry, bro.
I mean,
It's starting to turn
JB
into one of our van rides.
JB just said the most you had to be there thing of all time. It was like, what? That's not fucking funny. You guys didn't watch the same video that I watched?
You guys don't know the dead comedian Patrice O'Neill, the one line had in a roast that I didn't set up properly. Well, fuck you guys. This is literally like our conversations in the van late at night.
It's okay. Nobody's listening at this point anyway.
Dude, racism.
This is the alienate your fucking audience podcast.
Yay! Thanks for doing that. We needed someone to do a podcast. Nobody else.
Did somebody am I like the second choice? Did somebody cancel on you guys?
No,
No,
like literally,
you're the first choice.
You were
Oh,
my
okay.
first choice.
You were one of one.
All right.
So we didn't have anybody else.
Slow week.
But maybe I'll drink another beer and reach out to other comedians, but maybe I won't.
It was good to catch
Yeah.
up. Fuck comedians. Pepper's funnier than most of these.
I agree.
Comedians
Yeah.
are lame anyway.
No, they gotta worry about image and shit. I can't be canceled.
Yeah.
No, your bread and butter is those theme songs, bruh.
Exactly. People don't know it. I make $80,000 a year just on theme songs.
Mm.
Ah, that is so Charlie Sheen in Two and a Half Men.
charge people.
Yeah, that's not true.
If you charged people, and you should
It's
be.
fun to lie though.
If you
I like
charge
charging people.
you could possibly make $80 a year doing theme songs.
Yeah, I think that
That's roughly what we're working with here.
I think that's about where I'm at this year.
We made $75 on our last album. But
I remember
50 making it. So
Ari sent me $1,000 one time, and I was like, "For fucking what, dude?" And he was like, "Oh,
pay
theme
us
songs."
anything.
That's so nice.
We made a whole.
Yeah, it was very nice. It was in like the 2 weeks where I didn't have a job too, and I was like, "Oh boy, it's gonna start to get sketchy." And then I was like, "Nice."
Aww.
Ari's the goat.
Ari's the goat. Always the goat.
He is for sure.
And I
I
was
love
so
him.
happy to hear the theme song. Oh, where you been and oh, where you going?
So that theme song is actually like 2 years old. He came up with the idea for that show, and I wrote a theme song. I wrote one that he hated, and then I was like, you know what? Yeah, I wrote one on mushrooms, and he hated it, and I was like, all right, fuck you, dude. And then I rewrote it, and I was like, nope, this one's way better. And I sent it to him, and I don't even. It just got like really complicated. He was going back and forth with an animator. It was super fucked up. And then everybody forgot about it. And then like a month ago, he was like, "Hey, do you happen to have that song?" I was
Let
like,
me
"Yeah."
ask you, was it the first version you did or the second version?
It was the second version.
Because when we were doing the video for him, we filmed all this shit and I put together a rough cut. And he's like, "Yeah, I mean, I like it, but it doesn't have to go chronological. I'm not trying to tell
Too
a story.
linear.
It's a little too linear. We don't want to have to make it linear." I'm like, "All right, well, I'll put it out of order." Then he got his editor involved. We went through 2 or 3 edits and it came back and he's like, "I was talking to my editor. I think it'd be better if it was linear." And just, I literally got back to the very first edit we did minus one thing. It's like, yeah, perfect, dude.
Yeah, I think the
Nah.
editor said that, right? Like, make it more
Yeah,
linear.
it's a little more linear. It's a little disjointed. I'm like, no fucking shit, Ari. You're the one that told me to do that. But
Yeah. Now, one thing I've learned for sure is my first instinct is 9 times out of 10 the best thing I'll ever come up with. Like whenever I try to do like second or third drafts, it only gets worse.
yeah, it's like Raelyn trying to set up a picture or a video that we had that we've fucked up or something. Hold on, no, get back in there. Let's do it one more. It's like, no, It's not gonna happen.
Raelyn, did you start cleaning your fucking phone cameras?
No, I keep it foggy just for you, Peps.
Dude, she used to post. You've gotten better. You used to post the foggiest fucking, just so much face grease on the camera that like there's no clear lines on anything. Just like so fucked up.
Their nasty, greasy fingers.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And like you're the only person that I can bitch to about that because nobody else does that. But like I'll see some other people do it, but I don't have their phone number. So whenever you post some shit like that, I'm like, dude, take a fucking alcohol wipe and just clean the camera.
And it's
just
amazing.
real quick.
There's 3 fucking lenses on the back of the thing, and it's still greasy. She
They're
can't-
all greasy as fuck.
Those Nelson's
Nelson's covered in hippie grease.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hippie tonics and greases.
Goat meconium.
I don't even know what that is. Goat semen.
All right.
Anyway,
We've gone way too long.
All right.
All right,
this might be the
Peps.
greatest podcast we've ever done.
Let's do this again next Friday.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Hey,
Pepper and Annie are
my favorite podcasters.
Swifties.
Swifties. Yeah.
Podcasters.
Let's do that again. You guys, Swifties.
Or
Let's
maybe
do it.
Pepper is my favorite. Let's do it again.
All right.
Pepper is my favorite. Can we do them all? Like, I think you should just keep them all in at this point,
Sure,
and then
because
okay.
you're obviously we'll film the outros after the intro and after the podcast, and we're a little drunk.
I think you should keep it. All right, here we go. Pepper is my favorite comedian podcast
And
theme
Annie
song.
Goins is my
creator.
favorite Swiftie.
You didn't let me finish.
Nope. Anyway, if you've made it this far, which clearly you haven't, literally fucking nobody is watching this right now, which is fine. What do we care? Cancel us, demonetize us. I don't care.
No, I was just being ridiculous.
We're never gonna make
You're
it.
being a little dramatic. Enjoy your groceries.
I know your mama's name.
Don't be an asshole. Did we cheers yet?
Enjoy your cigarettes.